Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 2 discussion. Actually, tell you what, skip the drink today. This is going to be a fairly short video. Today, we got a new patch that's gone live already. It's a pretty minor one, but it will be fairly welcome. But more importantly, we got some information on when to expect 030. So let's start with 021B. This is a minor patch, but a significant one. The Frisian Magistrate and Crypt Keeper series of supporter packs, the MTX from those, these are ones that are being sold for Path of Exile 1 at the moment. They're now going to work in Path of Exile 2. On top of that, a couple of other MTX grinding games have developed recently for Path of Exile 1, so this is only the recent stuff, are also getting ported over. Watcher's Wrath armor set, Archon of the Atlas armor set, the Skull of Undeath, Syndicate's Demise unique finisher, Originator portal effect, and Rose charges. Some of these were Twitch drops, so they're things that aren't currently available, but they'll be sold again in the future. Other ones here, Watcher's Wrath is one that is tied to completing challenges in Path of Exile 1's current league. Archon of the Atlas is tied to the current Kirax Vault MTX bundle that's available in Path of Exile 1. It's worth noting that if you're only interested in Path of Exile 2, the Watcher's Wrath armor set and the Archon of the Atlas armor set require quite a lot of play over in Path of Exile 1 in order to unlock, whereas the Frisian Magistrate and Crypt Keeper series of packs, those are just available for sale. Let's jump over to the content update timeline. One thing I tend to do a lot on this channel is extrapolate likely release dates from the available information, and my dates of getting these wrong are definitely coming to a middle today. Today, we got the confirmation that one of the dates that I thought was plausible but unlikely is actually the date they're going to be releasing. So, what we knew in the past was that Grinding Gear Games were aiming to release in August. There are 5 Fridays in August. These are the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. And we also knew that last Epoch had a major release on the 21st. Based on that, I thought they would definitely not go on the 22nd, which they haven't. I thought that they would probably not go on the 15th, and that they would likely not go on the 29th as well, because of the clash with last Epoch. Grinding Gear Games have decided that an 8 days off clash is actually tolerable, and that's what they're going with. The release is going to be the 29th of August. Now, as far as this clash goes, how does this affect people that play Path of Exile 2? Well, firstly, if you don't play last Epoch, the clash doesn't matter at all. However, if you do play both games, if you play last Epoch at a casual level like I do, then this is going to be a pretty nothing clash. You'll just jump into last Epoch, start playing it on the 21st, play through to the 27th, 28th, maybe take the 28th off, then jump into Path of Exile 2 when that launches, at least assuming you're interested in playing both. And that doesn't really matter whether you're someone that plays Path of Exile 2 in a hardcore level or at a more chill level. However, where this is a bit more of a problem is if you're someone that plays last Epoch at a more power gamer level. In that case, you may not be finished after 8 days, but you may also want to continue playing during the week 2 experience of the last Epoch League. That is a segment of the Path of Exile 2 player base that I think will be disappointed with this choice of release date, and that would have preferred it to be blown out another week to the 5th of September. Ultimately, Grinding Gear Games have made the decision now, so we know it is going to be the 29th of August. Unfortunately, also for me, this ends up being a pretty bad release date just because I'm not going to be able to focus on last Epoch at all. I'm not going to be able to play it because I'm just so busy at the period when a Path of Exile League is just being spoiled. In terms of spoiler season, the 21st is the most likely date for Grinding Gear Games' major livestream announcement, where they'll go through all of the features of Path of Exile 2's 030 League. Other than that, though, we don't really have that much information as to what to expect, except that this is going to have a traditional league. So Dawn of the Hunt contained something that was like a fresh economy, but that wasn't really a new league, because the new content that they added in Dawn of the Hunt that was added to every zone, here we're talking about the Asmiri Wisp mechanic, which is basically Torment done better, this was added to Standard as well. Whatever plays this role in 030, this is going to be added only to the new economy and not to Standard initially, and it'll be in every zone or close to it early on, and then chances are that later on they'll then go and add it to Standard in a more pared down form. We'll find out the details of that at some point in the future. Also, they mentioned here that content updates contain a lot of stuff for the base game as well, and I think that probably matters a bit more in Path of Exile 2 than it does in Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 1, there is definitely a section of the player base that loves Standard and that are only interested in playing it, but it feels to me like that section of the player base is larger in Path of Exile 2, and there will be new stuff that's coming for that section of the player base as well, so the base game is going to get a bunch of stuff. As Path of Exile 2 is still in early access, we have a lot of content we haven't finished yet, and there is certainly a lot of new stuff coming. Anyways, that's what we've got on this. I'm going to leave it there. May your Varlobs have interesting results.